This is likely a useless video, but it helped me tremendously coming up with this. So maybe it'll help you out. If you are NVIDIA, I don't know about AMD, you can right-click on your desktop. Go to Show More Options, go to NVIDIA Control Panel. I'm on Windows 11 here. This is something that I've had to do for only a couple of games, and it's made a noticeable difference. Not night and day difference, but a noticeable one. From the 3D settings, go to Manage 3D Settings. From the global settings, go to Program Settings to single out a game. And if it's not there, you can go and add it, look at your list, and find out where your game is. I've never had an issue finding my games. So find your Baldur's Gate 3. And from there, simply scroll down and go to Power Management mode. By default, it'll be on optimal power. I put on prefer maximum performance. That alone, I've noticed a difference without changing anything else, okay? From there, inside of the game, you could be thinking to yourself, oh, wow, like I couldn't have come up with that on my own. Well, maybe you couldn't. Maybe you're somebody that isn't too tech savvy, okay? So naturally, this isn't for you. Sorry, so hit escape, go to options, and then at the top, click on video. So I have an RTX 2070 Super. Aspect ratio 16:9, 1920 by 1080, refresh rate of 60. Obviously, if you want to do higher than 60 frames, you're going to have to set this to higher. Like I can go up to 164. But for me, there's no point. I prefer full screen mode. Some people do borderless window. I don't recommend it, at least not for me. It's not good. VSync. Some people disable the VSync. I'm going to tell you what happens when I disable it. Even if I lock it to 60, you might be thinking to yourself, well, that's what VSync does. It synchronizes the frame rate with your monitor's refresh rate to reduce screen tearing. However, when I disable this, even if I lock it at 60, I get terrible screen tearing. So for me, I do the double buffering. Triple buffering is more stable, but again, requires more dedicated memory. I have actually a pretty decent computer, and even though the game recommends me to play this on ultra everything, it just doesn't deliver. The performance is abysmal in this game, but now I've got it running nice. So I do double buffering. Frame rate cap, toggle that on. Beautiful slider here. From 10 frames all the way to 240. Okay, you can really single out how many frames you want. I tried 60 FPS with medium, and then I tried 40 FPS on ultra, and that worked for me, but I'm preferring the smoother frame rate. Okay. You can always try your overall preset. The auto detect, like I said, did nothing for me. High is the highest for most of these things. I simply chose medium for model. Medium detail distance, medium instance distance. Medium texture, 8 times texture filtering, high level of animation level of detail. I did not check slow HDD mode. I have dynamic crowds on, but you can turn that off. It's a code to switch to more dynamic interactions when engaging otherwise primitive crowd characters. This will impact performance, so you can change that. I don't even fully know what that does, even after reading the description. Lighting, shadow quality, honestly, low is really not that gross. And shadows can be a big thing in some games if you're struggling with FPS. Cloud quality, I mean, you're not going to be spending your time looking at the clouds, but I still put it on medium. Fog quality, medium. Now, if you've got an AMD card, obviously you're going to go for this here. The AMD FSR 1.0, and I would try either balanced or performance. I mean, by all means, you could try ultra quality, but this is assuming you're struggling here. So I put mine on performance, but obviously for NVIDIA, because I'm running an NVIDIA card. Okay, so performance there. And NVIDIA, DLSS and the AMD FSR, by the way, they're a type of AI super resolution that provide the highest possible frame rates at maximum graphics settings. And DLSS, again, requires an RTX NVIDIA card. DLSS boosts frame rate by using deep learning, yada, yada, yada. It's the same thing with the fidelity here of AMD. It's a cutting-edge, super optimized spatial upscaling technology that produces impressive images at fast frame rates, okay? I got the fidelity effect sharpening off. Sharpness, I left it. Like I said, can't even touch it. Anti-aliasing is, it's not that it's not on. It's on, but your thing here takes over that, okay? It takes over that when you do that. When you turn these things on, you can't use anti-aliasing. If you use anti-aliasing, it'll turn these NVIDIA FSR things off. Ambient occlusion, I mean, I have it on. You can try on and off. I mean, I love how they show you the preview. It's not like night and day, but every little bit that you do will make a difference to your gaming experience, okay? And for me, I decided to leave it on because everything else was medium. I wanted that subtle extra eye candy, but you can leave this on or off either which way. Depth of field, just circular. I don't really know what the other ones are, what they do. Depth of field, I left it on quarter to noise. I left God Rays on and the bloom. Subsurface scattering, in my opinion, is a waste of resources. I mean, there is a difference. You could barely notice it. It was a huge resource hog when I used to play Call of Duty. It was absolutely insane how much better performance I got out of the game just turning that off alone. Okay? So that's the settings here, going from the very bottom slowly to the top. Okay? I'm not necessarily saying, hey, psst, copy my settings here. That's not what I'm saying. This is, you know, it's all about like sharing. Everybody's going to have a different experience. No two people have the same computer, nor the same drivers, the same operating system. Okay? It can be quite complex. And I know I'm not really, you know, doing much here. I'm just kind of moving around. And you'll still get the odd stutter here and there. Maybe it's because I'm recording and I'm playing a computer game. But all in all, I am having, with all these changes that I've talked to you about in the video, have made a night and day difference. I mean, I almost wanted to refund the game. That's how bad it was for me. And now I'm playing at 60 FPS. Is it on Ultra for everything? No. But even when I do this and I compare it to 40 FPS on Ultra, I can't really notice that big of a difference in the eye candy enough to justify losing 20 frames per second. For me, it's not worth it. This isn't Call of Duty. It's not a first-person shooter. It's a very calm, well, I wouldn't say calm, but it's a very, you know, laid-back, turn-based, you know, game. So anyways, there you have it. I don't know if this is going to help you, but it may, okay? Took me a while, like I said, to do a couple of tweaks here, even though a lot of them are pretty basic. This is not usually for your basic gamer, okay? There's other people out there that, no offense, don't know a lot about gaming. They just load up a game and they're like, oh my God, what do I do? Here's what you can do, okay? As always, if you did like the video, thumbs up. Didn't like it, thumbs down. We'll bend it in half, twist it, and we'll break off one of these things off in your ass. Probably that sword there. And if you want to subscribe, or this one, because it's on fire. And see, there was a little bit of a frame stutter. That happens. Anyways, if you want to subscribe, great. If not, whatever. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next video. Bye for now.